Today marks the first time in history that Congress has ever compelled a former president to come testify under a subpoena. President Clinton has acknowledged that he, yes, flew on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane, but he says he didn't know anything about his criminal activity.
So then yesterday, it was a long day. That committee talked to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for 6 hours. Here's what she had to say late last night when it ended.
I answered every one of their questions as fully as I could, based on what I knew, and what I knew is what I said in my statement this morning. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance, but whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond.
Our Chad Pergram is reporting live for us from Chappaqua. Good morning to you, Chad.
Good morning, Aisha. Well, yesterday was the undercard. Today is, in fact, the main event with President Clinton coming. Never before has a sitting president or a former president, in the case of Bill Clinton, come for a House deposition. Now, Bill Clinton, he met with and traveled with Jeffrey Epstein. And Hillary Clinton, she found some of the questions yesterday to be absurd.
I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet, that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me.
Yesterday was lengthy. The deposition went for hours. Hillary Clinton denied knowing Epstein. However, Epstein raised money for the Clinton Foundation. Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says Hillary Clinton punted many questions to her husband, who did associate with Epstein.
And to her knowledge, she said Clinton didn't go to Epstein Island, even though we read 3 emails from 3 different witnesses that said they saw Bill Clinton on Epstein Island. So we had all the evidence, and Miss Clinton under oath denied everything or deferred to her husband tomorrow. So
now Democrats say hauling in the Clintons is a distraction, but they're looking to set precedent. They believe calling Bill Clinton sets the stage for the committee to call President Trump.
Today, we are sitting through an incredibly unserious clown show of a deposition where members of Congress and the Republican Party are more concerned about getting their photo op of Secretary Clinton than actually getting to the truth and holding anyone accountable.
Now, the Clintons ducked the deposition since last fall. They only agreed to appear after they were threatened with being held in contempt of Congress. Now, Republicans believe that Bill Clinton can help them learn more about Jeffrey Epstein, how he abused girls, and how he ran his sex trafficking network.
A world where you don't have to fear the future. Maybe with your last breath, you can close your eyes and try to see it. But do not think me a monster, devoid of empathy and
Hillary took my arm! Jerry makes very few requests of me, but it is but a flesh wound. Jerry, how could you? Hillary! We just shared the photo. We just took a photo. That's it. We shared the photo. How could Hillary? I got kids! What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to fill a milk bottle? Get goldfish out of the cabinet. Kids! Oh, regenerated. Wolverine powers. Come on, Logan. Let's go. It was the discombobulator. I recombobulated, ladies and gentlemen. Discombobulator. About to be used in Iran right now. Luckily, we have Alex Jones on the show to talk about it. And Viva Friday, February 27th, 2026, last working day of February. Can you believe this?
Last day of February is tomorrow. Working day. What do you mean working day? We never stop working around here for you. We will be delivering and spitting hot fire this morning, just like yesterday. And I want to apologize for absolutely nothing. Everyone attacking us for sharing a photo of Hillary Clinton. Shut up! You know, I don't care. You have no power. You have no power here. Jerry, can I be the Lord of the Rings meme? You have no power here. Baby, this is Rohan, okay? We do what we want. And, man, we caused an international scene yesterday, and we just want to thank all of you. We're sorry that we couldn't do it live on the show. We got the photo while we were live, and well, we'll talk all about it here, what happened, and the big kahuna, Bill Clinton, rolling in today. Luckily, these depositions are going to be filmed. Sadly, they're not live, but we will, again, be live with Alex Jones. Maybe we'll bomb Israel. Maybe Israel will bomb Iran? Maybe everyone gets bombed? I think that's what's going to happen because they're evacuating all of Israel. I don't know what the hell is going on. I do know what's going on. They're going to go to war. And there's a major contingency that is pro-war, anti-war. We're going to talk about all of it and what's going to happen next. And we're on the phone with top level, let's just say very high level administration officials moments ago to talk about what the plan is. And I think we have good news. Maybe. Kind of depends. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk all about it today. No lies detected. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Both arms are back. Okay. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Today is going to be a face scorcher. If you would like to make sure that you are toasty, not too toasty, but feeling good, like as though you've been out at the sun, the beach all day, get the Bond Charge Infrared Sauna Blanket. The Bond Charge Infrared Sauna Blanket is a must-use in the Johnson household. I talk about these things. I will only ever partner with people who I agree with their product. I won't ever partner with people that I wouldn't actually use it myself. So whether it's in my cup or on my bed, it's something that I use. My wife uses this, well, every single night. I use this. I use the mask. My wife likes the sauna blanket. She's chilly all the time. But in the cold months right now, it's like very, very cloudy. It's like fog like you can barely see right now in Tampa. It's like this for a long time. You don't get the sun. You don't get the good natural light of the sun. You got to use the sauna blanket, man. It's this infrared light that's so good for your skin. It's so good to help detoxify, ease stress, unwind. It's like a traditional sauna, but it's a teeny fraction of the price. And most importantly, well, it's what your body needs and demands, especially in these winter months. So go to Bond Charge. It ships worldwide. All products are HSA and FSA eligible. Pre-tax savings of 40% plus free shipping on every single sauna blanket and a 12-month warranty. Go to bondcharge.com/Benny and use the code Benny for 15% off. BONCHARGE.com/Benny. Use the code Benny for 15% off. All right. Let's, I guess, talk about, I want to talk about the war in Iran right now because I think war in Iran, war in Israel, it's all going to happen. It's all popping off. I think that's going to happen maybe within the next couple hours. I'm not going to tell you who I was talking to. Let's just say it was somebody who is top level of the administration, top level of the administration. And we were yelling at each other, not yelling, but like having polite conversation about like what's about to pop off in the Mideast. And it's crazy. They're evacuating all Americans. They're evacuating all the Chinese. The UK just demanded that all of their citizens evacuate. America is evacuating from Jordan and from Israel and from Egypt. And obviously, Iran has evacuation orders from China and the UK. Things are happening right now. And we're going to get to the full rundown in just a second. What I heard from the administration, and, who knows, right, with these things. What I heard from the top levels of the administration is that nobody wants American boots on the ground. Nobody wants some protracted war that will be a new forever war in Iraq or Afghanistan. That's like obvious, like no duh. That's the number one way to ensure that everybody thinks that America First is a fraud, right? Like you can't run forever wars on on a platform of America First. America Forever Wars, 5,000 miles off. You can't do it. So that's like permeated on Tucker Carlson widely reported, was the White House this week advocating against war with Iran. Little birdies tell me that also Erica Kirk was doing the exact same thing. Obviously, Charlie was very much against war with Iran and very much against protracted U.S. wars in the Mideast. This was like a legacy that he left and something that he was very, very ardent against, advocating strongly against constantly. And this is not, I mean, like in a country, when we have a country here that has our own problems, the Ayatollahs are so unbelievably low on the list. Hard to really like fathom. Now, I guess we can chew gum and walk at the same time. You can do both. You can make the case. I don't think that Operation Midnight Hammer, now quite famous, damaged the administration. I don't think it did. No, I don't think so. Nobody would argue that the Ayatollahs are good people. They've killed a lot of Americans. They've killed a lot of my friends. They've killed, like, if you had somebody that got blown up during the GWAT wars, it was Iran doing that. It wasn't actually Iraqis doing it. And it very, very often was the Iranians in both Afghanistan and Iran. Iran tried to kill Trump. I think that there's a bit of a grudge war there. Iran was obviously trying to kill Trump. Who knows if Iran was behind like multiple Trump assassinations, but we know as a matter of fact, they were behind one Trump assassination attempt. Also, mysterious drones kept flying over Donald Trump's motorcades. They had to be shot out of the sky. There's no doubt that that was probably Iran. Was that a drone bomb? I don't know. But something terrible, obviously, is going to happen in Iran. And it's going to happen like perhaps live during the show. So we're going to get there, ladies and gentlemen. But we have been the subject of some very fascinating news cycles over the last 24 hours. So why don't we just front load that? And then I want to talk about Bill Clinton with Viva Frei. And I want to talk about, obviously, Hillary Clinton with Alex Jones. And then if we start bombing Iran while Alex Jones is on the show live, then lucky for us, we'll be quite entertained. And we'll have the guy that predicted 9/11 on the program. How about that? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So we pissed off Hillary Clinton yesterday. We pissed her off. And I like that. And I'm not suicidal. And so I want to let you guys know that we were dancing the whole time that we were doing this. And it was a blast. And this was something that we're not going to apologize for. And here's what happened. So there it is, Klein. Look at that. The meme that will never die. The meme that will never die. Yeah. No. Trust me, Klein. See, I'm glad this is happening to you, Klein. I'm glad this is happening to you. So now you understand my pain. Just load it. Just load it, please. The meme that will never die. Me being face swapped with John Hamm onto the dancing nightclub scene. I don't even know where this is from. It's just a famous meme. I posted, I am not suicidal. I pissed off Hillary Clinton today. We made Hillary Clinton storm out of her Epstein testimony and then rage that she's not going to continue because we were being so very naughty. What did we have? Did we get pictures of her husband in a jacuzzi with a bunch of like Epstein victims? There we go. See, that wasn't that hard. This was way faster than yesterday. Way faster fixed than yesterday. Yeah, nonetheless, this meme has caused us. I love this meme, but it's caused us a lot of consternation for some reason. I don't know. It doesn't play. There it is. This is us just like having a great time. Can we let the music play? We're just doing the dance. Can we let the music play? Feeling good. Feeling good. We're feeling good because it's like Alex Jones is coming on the show. No, doesn't play. Okay. Thank you. This was us. Thank you. This was us yesterday. Okay. What was it exactly that we did? What was it? What horrible crime did we commit that has Hillary Clinton, wanting to turn our cameras off when we're in Club Fed? The cameras, you see the little red light on the camera go beep, and then you hear the sound of Hillary Clinton's like pantsuit swishing down the hallway and the click, clack, click, clack, click, clack of her 1-inch heels. And you hear like a little cackle and you hear like the noose tightening. What had her like that? This is all that we did. This is it. We posted this hilarious photo of Hillary Clinton looking like a deer in the headlights from her testimony. And that's it. Now, why did we post that? This is, I get irritated because people are like, you're so stupid. You include Lauren Boebert's name. It makes me so angry how dumb people are on the internet. Look, you're so good. You're so sneaky, Benny. This is a thread. Scroll up to the actual post where I say Lauren Boebert gave me permission to share this photo. I zoomed in on a photo of Hillary Clinton that Lauren sent me. That's it. This caused an international scene. The international scene is that Hillary Clinton got up and walked out because I shared this photo. You scroll down and you can see the full photo. It has Lauren Boebert's name tag in it and everything. It's like this big table and they're sitting there. The Republican Congress had to go to, the Republican members of the Oversight Committee had to go to Chappaqua, New York. Why didn't Hillary Clinton have to go to D.C.? Doesn't everybody have to go to D.C.? Why do they get special privileges? You want to talk about nobody's above the law. This is what I'm talking about. So what does Congress go and depose people in their little leafy hometown suburbs in New York? That irritated me in the first place, that she's not actually inside of Washington, D.C., dragged in. But anyway, you have this photo sent to me. She lost her mind. Her team lost their ever-loving effing minds on this. Why this happened? I think it's because they were looking for an excuse. I know they were looking for an excuse. It was obvious they were looking for an excuse because they lied. They were lying about so many things, but right from the get, Hillary Clinton lied. ALX, I don't see it in the script, but please give the post on us calling out the number of times that Epstein met Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton says, I don't ever recall meeting Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, let's just begin there. Of the many lies. Now, obviously, it's not going to shock you that Hillary Clinton's lying, but like she says in her opening line, in her opening dialogue, she goes, I didn't meet Jeffrey Epstein. Well, Jeffrey Epstein would like a word. Hildebeest. Jeffrey Epstein says dozens of times in his emails, I met Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is much prettier up close. This is how you know I'm a very sick man. Hillary Clinton's much prettier up close. We have so many documented instances of Hillary Clinton meeting Jeffrey Epstein from his own emails. Now, who knows? I mean, Hillary Clinton's using these weasel words where she's like, I don't recall meeting Jeffrey Epstein. Who knows what they have? Because they've only released, like, I think half of their Jeffrey Epstein files. So who knows what they have next? I mean, goodness gracious. Do they have photos of Hillary and Epstein? Probably. They probably have all the metadata. They probably have everything. I mean, you'd assume. But at the very least, they've released like half the stuff, which is probably the most mundane stuff. And it's been terrible. It's led to the destruction of many careers. You have Hillary Clinton like dead to rights. Like the email after email after email of Jeffrey Epstein talking about how close he is with Hillary, how many meetings he has with Hillary, what Hillary looks like up close. Well, okay, that means you met Hillary. Bill Clinton was ubiquitous on the plane. Jeffrey Epstein was in the White House like day and night. He practically had like a rented room in the White House, the Clinton White House. So it's complete and total garbage. She is just straight up lying. She knows that she's caught. She knows she's caught and she freaks out about it. And so she attacks us. That's what happened. She attacked us and she sent out her little weasel Flax to go running out and come after us outside. And they went marching out of the building and said, the testimony's off because Benny Johnson shared a photo of Hillary Clinton. Now, I just told you exactly how I shared it and who I got it from. I literally posted the photos, here they are again, of where I got the content. Literally from Representative Boebert, her name cards in the photo. And what were we trying to do? Were we trying to throw them off and cancel this because I'm such a huge Epstein fan? What we were trying to do was to show that Hillary Clinton is in this room. She's testifying. It's newsworthy. It's important to show that it's actually happening. It's important to show that Republicans are trying to get answers. Did they get any answers? They sounded really pissed afterwards, so probably not. Anyway, they used this as an opportunity to try and weasel out again. Slimy people, slimy people. So she sends out these two staffers, which is great, which is really exciting for me, because I know one of these dudes. One guy is Bill Clinton's chief of staff. It's the same guy in this video that we played for you a million times of Bill Clinton running like a scared animal for cover when some like little twink asked him about Jeffrey Epstein in a photo line. It's really interesting how much these guys, yeah, you know, this famous video. See that guy with the beard? That's the guy they sent out to attack me. That's the dude. His name is, I gotta go find it. He's Bill Clinton's chief of staff. Anyway, this guy of all people is the one they send out to attack me. And so here it is. Hillary goes, get out there and tell them that Benny Johnson has destroyed everything. It's fun. These people will leak. Well, these people will leak like Donald Trump's laundry list. But we turn the tables on them. These people will leak every conceivable thing. You know, it's so funny. Like it's hilarious. They leak like the Access Hollywood tape of Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump saying naughty locker room talk when he's off camera, but his mic's still hot. They go back. They find everything they possibly can on Trump. They find this little clip. They leak it. Billy Bush tape. They leak that. And they think it's great. They thought that won them the election. Of course, they traveled up. Reince Priebus travels to New York, tells Trump he has to drop out. Donald Trump does not drop out. He ends up winning in 2016. They thought they had him. They thought he was finished. I mean, you want to talk about leaking stuff from behind the scenes to damage people. Hillary's nothing. Hillary can't even draw a crowd at a Chick-fil-A. Like, nobody would show up. There are lines longer at Chick-fil-A than would show up to hear Hillary Clinton talk or speak these days. She has no political power. There's nothing you can do. They've been thrown under the bus by their own party. Okay? So this is fully me like posting a photo of her in this deposition is fair game, scum. You made the rules. Anyway, here's what they did yesterday. Let's watch. Listen to him bitch.
Very quick thing. My name's Nick Merrill. I'm an advisor to Secretary Clinton. This is Angel Ermina, who's a advisor to President Clinton. The hearing just went off the record for a moment because it seemed, as some of you may have seen, that there were some photographs shared on social media, which is against chamber rules that were read at the top of the meeting. So the hearing has been paused briefly while they figure out where the photo came from and why possibly members of Congress are violating House rules. So we'll keep you updated. We just wanted to share what's happening inside. Thank you.
Sorry, Nick. Yeah, I'm actually seeing that. Can you explain what the picture is?
If you look on your Twitter feed, you know who it came from?
It came from Benny Johnson. He said Lauren Boebert gave it.
Yeah, look at Benny Johnson's feed.
Yes.
Good. We'll be back. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's us working for you. That's us working for the people. I haven't been suicided yet, and we are like really proud that we've survived close to 24 hours since doing this to the Clinton campaign. So we'll keep a ticker now for the rest of the show. We'll have a ticker like how long until Benny's suicided. You know, we'll keep a ticker, right? Very sorry to announce. My imminent traffic accident. Anyway, Lauren Boebert, complete legend, and we thank her for that. It was a lot of fun. Lauren Boebert also responding to this, because of course I made it very clear who sent me that photo. Duh. Stop playing dumb. Lauren Boebert responding to this like a legend. Here we go.
I really admired her blue suit, so I wanted to capture that for everyone.
Why did you send the picture? Why did you send the picture?
Why not?
Representative Boebert, can you talk to us about why you sent that picture?
I just returned to my hotel room and installed the BleachBit software. So I took the camera to my iPad. So I guess in regards to photos, I can never tell.
You don't remember sending the picture of Clinton?
Yeah. Are you going to see a Broadway show while you're here?
You're going to see a Broadway show. All right. Another like reason number infinity, never to marry a left-wing woman. Hillary threw Bill Clinton under the bus, saying effectively it was my husband. I mean, obviously we know as a matter of fact that Bill had a much closer relationship with Epstein Bill Gates had a much closer relationship with Epstein. So it's today that is like the big one. Is James Comer speaking right now? Yeah, go. Is it live? Okay, we're just wrapping up yesterday. Okay, let's go.
This is, and I think I'd like to.
This is live.
Miss Mace here.
ATL.
But I think we have a very important interest and curiosity about what specifically the co-conspirators had a role in all this, right? We know for a fact that some of these were women. And I think that today, at least with my line of questioning, I'm curious about that. Why is it that these women were given plea deals as adults for trafficking minors? How much of that did they witness, et cetera? And so, I don't know that Secretary Clinton was all that honest about the context of this investigation. We asked extensively about intelligence ties, whether or not she felt that she was targeted as a result of possibly an intelligence gathering operation. And she was very curiously interested in that. And then also, you'll hear it in the response, but had told us to follow up with a few countries, one of which is our ally. So that's interesting.
And I think Miss Luna brought up a good point about the Clinton Foundation. There's so many examples in the evidence the Department of Justice released in correspondence where Epstein bragged about how involved he was initially in setting up the Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation. We asked those questions to Secretary Clinton yesterday, and she kept saying, well, she was in the Senate at that time. She wasn't focused on it. You'll have to ask my husband. So a lot of the Clinton Global Initiative questions yesterday went unanswered because Ms. Clinton deferred to her husband. So we'll do one more question. Annie, go ahead.
It's our understanding that you guys asked Secretary Clinton yesterday about photos of her husband in the Epstein files. What was her reaction when you showed various photos, for example, of her husband in the jacuzzi that we've seen?
I'm gonna let Miss Mace answer that. We're on TV.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. No, she didn't want to answer any questions about any of that and deferred most of those, if not all of those questions, to her husband, and he will be thoroughly asked about that today. What did he know? When did he know? What did he see? Because there are other people who've come forward publicly, like Kevin Spacey, who thought all of this was very strange and actually a very high risk for a president of the United States or former president. It's all very bizarre, but I asked her very pointed questions, and you'll see that in the transcript in the video that comes out, and you'll see how she responded as well, screaming.
And
Screaming.
We'll close with this. We're going to get the
Screaming
video out as quickly as we can get it uploaded in the sound and everything from yesterday. So this is, for all practical purposes, a public deposition. The American people are going to see it. I've heard C-SPAN's going to air it wire to wire. So everyone's going to see what was asked yesterday. And I think that'll answer a lot of questions, especially with Lutnick and other things like that. Throughout the day, we'll try to send different members out to give you brief updates. We don't want to disclose what's going on in the deposition specifically until after at the conclusion, but we'll keep you updated, and we appreciate everyone being here and look forward to updating you throughout the day. Thank you all.
She was unhinged, and I hope that President Clinton is less unhinged today than his wife was yesterday. You'll see it.
Whoa. Whoa. That's crazy. Again, this is live.
Well, he was basically instrumental, for his words, and I think you'll find out from Clinton probably today, in setting up the Clinton Global Initiative.
President Trump said that he was bothered by Bill Clinton coming in.
The biggest thing is we need transparency, accountability, and we need justice for the victims. And we need to make sure we find out how can we write laws to prevent human trafficking and prevent people of that evil level infiltrating the highest levels of government. Thank you.
Holy moly. Okay. Well, that was live. That's crazy. So Hillary Clinton was unhinged. Unhinged, they said. It's very interesting. Obviously, we had our photo that broke the internet, but we haven't seen any video of the deposition. We saw Hillary Clinton walk out and throw Bill Clinton under the bus. Then we saw Hillary Clinton respond to us leaking the photo. Respond to Pizzagate, UFOs, and everything else. It's very funny. And then tell a massive lie about Chelsea Clinton's wedding. We can prove it's a lie. We can prove it. Okay, so here's Hillary Clinton responding to us. Melting down. Here we go.
We had a bit of a challenge in the beginning because we had agreed upon rules based on the fact it was going to be a closed hearing at their demand. And one of the members violated that rule, which was very upsetting because it suggested that they might violate other of our agreements. So we had to cease the hearing for a period of time until we could get assurances that no rules would be broken going forward. And we returned to answer questions repetitively, literally over and over again. I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times.
Because you'd be in jail.
That's a good one, Clyde. All right. One more. I know I see some of the comments saying, like, wait, are we going to war with Iran? Like, who cares about this? We're going to get to all of it. All right. We're going to get to all of it. Hillary Clinton asked about Pizzagate and UFOs. Okay. Real fast. Like, who's the legend who asked about this? It has to be Nancy Mace. It has to be Nancy Mace. Here we go.
It then got, at the end, quite unusual because I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet, that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me. So I can only say that the best exchange that I had came at the very end when, contrary to every other deposition they have taken, no Republican member asked.
All right, enough. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Jeffrey.
Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean by conspiracy theory? What are you talking about here exactly? You know, Pizzagate has all but been confirmed by the New York Times now. Like, the New York Times has articles about, like, how strange it is, the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and pizza. And this kind of stuff sickens my soul. I don't want to get too far into it. I mean, we obviously have Liz Crokin on. We've had Alex Jones on. We've had explanations about this kind of stuff. It's not like we're going to ignore the darkness and the evil. But for Hillary Clinton to try and run this line, like, it's not 2015 anymore, lady. Like, we've all read your emails. We all know who Marina Abramovich is. We've now seen Jeffrey Epstein. And the New York Times is straight up being like, well, wait a second. Why is Jeffrey Epstein using the term pizza and beef jerky and hot dogs in ways that, like, no human being that's just simply trying to consume a piece of food would ever do that? Like, we're just going to keep it between ourselves. It's going to be our special treat. There are so many different permutations of this inside of Epstein's own emails. And obviously this guy he was convicted and pled guilty to 120 counts of child trafficking and prostitution. So, like, well, at some point you just got to put two and two together. So for her to say, like, that Pizzagate is a sick and debunked conspiracy, again, lady, it's not 2015. One other final lie, and then we got to get to Viva Frei because I can't freaking wait to talk with him about this. Chelsea Clinton. So we've all seen the photo of Ghislaine Maxwell at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. And this is the single most demonstrable lie because, and this doesn't make me special, maybe you've been to the White House. Maybe you've even been to have you been to a Donald Trump event? Have you been to a Trump rally? If you go to a Trump rally, you have to, like, check in. You have to have a ticket to a Trump rally. That's because the Secret Service wants to generally know who's in the area of, like, the president, so that they're making sure that no one on the terrorist watch list gets in. But let's say you're going to a private event with a president. If you're going to a private event with a president, whoo doggy, get ready with your multiple forms of ID, your social security number, questions about your background, questions about, like, where you're from, your nationality. Get ready to stand before a drug-sniffing dog. I've been to these private events with the president, and I am not bragging. It doesn't make me special. You get invited into the White House, prepare to stand on a rubber mat with a German Shepherd smelling you. And I don't consider myself particularly dangerous, you know. I've never been to Iran, for instance. I don't like leaving America. I don't have a naughty search history, okay, on any of my devices. I'm not like that. I'm not your guy. I get run through the ringer. So does everybody else. If you're going to a private event with the president. Hillary Clinton wants us to believe, like we literally have no brain cells left, that Ghislaine Maxwell broke into her daughter's wedding. I kid you not. This is the answer. The answer is that she snuck in. How'd she sneak in? Oh, she was a sneaky little +1 of one of our guests. We just had no idea who she was. Bullshit. Sorry. Don't like to curse. I'm so angry about this. I despise these lies. I despise them. I would much rather tell brutal truths than comforting lies. It's so irritating. Hillary goes, oh, she just snuck in. Critical elements here. This is after Jeffrey Epstein pleads guilty to 120 counts of child sex trafficking and prostitution. Jeffrey Epstein becomes one of the worst pederasts in human history. He pled guilty to this. Ghislaine Maxwell was the madame. Many of the trafficked women say Ghislaine Maxwell was in charge of the operation. Ghislaine Maxwell was the one who had the connections to intelligence, Israeli and UK intelligence and otherwise. It was Ghislaine Maxwell who's operating Jeffrey Epstein, not the other way around. That's what many people say. And she's the one front row at your wedding, and you didn't know she snuck in as a guest? It's such a lie. It's such a demonstrable lie. It's enraging. It'll boil your blood. Listen to this.
James Matthews from Sky News. Can I ask, why was Ghislaine Maxwell invited to my daughter Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010? She'd already been mentioned in a civil lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre before that. Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted before that.
She came as the +1, the guest of someone who was invited.
What a filthy liar.
Thank you all.
What a filthy liar. Dirty, filthy liar. All right, Viva Fry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Whoo, boy. Makes me so angry. Bill Clinton now is getting it. He's in. Apparently, they're in right now. He's supposed to be. I am once again communicating. Let's see if I break the internet again today. I'm once again communicating with the team. Once again, communicating with people that are inside of the room, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Bill Clinton. He's due in minutes to begin his little testimony. But ladies and gentlemen, Viva Fry, live right now. And, oh man, I have a good one for him. Let's go. So here we go, Viva. Just off the top, I'm sorry that I'm a second late to you. Just off the dome, here's a good one. Here's a document from Jeffrey Epstein that says, "Hi, I am one of the founding members of the Clinton Global Initiative. Mr. Epstein was part of the original group that conceived of the Clinton Global Initiative, which is described as a project bringing forth the community of global leaders, blah, blah, blah. Jeffrey Epstein was also the initial bundler. He was on the board of directors and a founder. Paperwork associated with the foundation." Oh, wow. This is to Alan Dershowitz. This is, of course, Epstein's lawyer. So Hillary says she has no association, never met Jeffrey Epstein. Is that plausible? If we find documents that show that she did meet Epstein, which, of course, it's littered throughout his emails, that he did meet her. He said she's much prettier up close, which makes me think he had early onset glaucoma. But nonetheless, if we find that, is she guilty of perjury? Did she lie?
It's these plausible deniability statements that I wasn't aware of any of Epstein's criminality. I wasn't, but my husband was. I mean, Epstein visited the White House. I had to double check at least 17 times. Correct. The idea that he would not have met Hillary Clinton at some point is laughable. Bill Clinton is flying on the plane. Not necessarily. We've got conflicting reports as to whether or not he went to the island, but flying internationally with Jeffrey Epstein. It was well over a dozen times, going to African countries, which is very interesting given that Epstein was into human trafficking, if only demonstrably for himself right now, going to these places where it's an easy place to meet and traffic young children who are vulnerable, parents have gone missing, whatever. It's laughably stupid, but it's technically true. So accurate, but dishonest through omission. Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. I mean, Bill Clinton, whatever he knew it. But I would have had a follow-up question. Whose plus one was Ghislaine Maxwell with? I mean, I was looking it up because I don't know if there's an answer to that yet. All right, it was a plus one of a guest. Who was that guest? Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, who was it?
The idea that this is something that could get past the Secret Service is enraging.
It's
like like the Secret Service is just going to let Ghislaine Maxwell sneak in under the radar as a plus one, and they don't know exactly who's there at the wedding of the president.
When I went to Mar-a-Lago for the James O'Keefe, airing of a movie, and Trump wasn't even going to be there necessarily. Dude, yeah, you got to get Secret Service, you got to get clearance. They know everybody who's there. They check your car when you get there. It is laughably stupid, but it's an indication of the political power. I remember back in the day, this was one of my first black pill revelations. True power is not the ability to lie and get away with it. It's the ability of the system to lie on your behalf. And when Hillary was running for president, the lies that the system put out for her, power through it. She just stumbled. She was dehydrated, whatever. It's the system lying to protect Hillary Clinton. But right now, she just lies with impunity. And the fact that she doesn't really get called out on it or laughed out of the room about it or pressed about it is an indication of whatever lingering political power she has. I say it's coming to an end at some point. It does look like the Clintons are going to be the thrown under the bus, so to speak. But it's revelatory. I can't wait to see what happens with Bill Clinton. If I were you, Benny, and I had Hillary Clinton angry at me, I would be scared.
Oh yeah,
what happened yesterday was kind of hilarious in a weird way. Like she now she mentioned your name and she was angry at you for publishing that picture of her deposition. But it's we're getting to look behind or under the hood of the car. The only reality is you got some people on the internet saying, well, this isn't revealing an international sex trafficking ring. First of all, it's been 2 decades in the cover-up. What we're getting right now is that which they could, you could not erase from a file. To think that there haven't been elements of criminality of the co-conspirators that have been erased from this file, all that we're getting right now is what's left over after 20 years of corruption and cover-up. And even that's pretty damn damning.
Yes, right.
You remember that? What was it?
What a great point.
No, but that's the thing. Like everyone's like, oh, you're not. Dude, you think there's nothing left in that file that would black and white incriminate, let's just say Bill Clinton, for example. There was 4 years of Biden to make sure that all that stuff saw the burn bags that one bag escaped from the FBI DOJ under Biden. But the email where they're talking about, what does it say here? We have pizza. We only have one slice, and we need to know how thinly to slice it. About a pizza. So nobody's going to tell me that it's look, you might disagree that it's human sex trafficking. You might just say it's cocaine. How do you split up a finite amount of cocaine among 7 adults? Something's going on, and being told that nothing's going on. I never knew him. I never knew about his criminality. Ghislaine Maxwell just walked her way into a wedding. I mean, it's being put on blast right now, but it's implausible and laughably stupid.
I can't wait for this deposition to actually come out. We just heard seconds ago from Nancy Mace that she became unhinged and started unraveling. And part of this is because of what you talked about, the protection mechanism. I think that's critical, the point that you made there earlier, that real power is having the system lie on your behalf so you never have to actually face these questions in the first place. Everybody remembers, did you wipe your hard drive, with a cloth?
They laugh and they move on. I'm sorry, what did you mean by that, Hillary?
Right, exactly.
The past.
Do you remember that dork who just interviewed Obama about aliens? Yeah, there's aliens. No follow-up question. It's like these people are such frauds. It's like, but wait. Don't you do them a disservice? Isn't this eventually the snake that's going to eat its own tail? Because by never having to answer these questions, when you finally do, when the system does in fact collapse, and you're left and you're out there naked, and it's not a pretty sight, right? And we've all seen the photos of Clinton in the hot tub. You're going to be so exposed. You're going to be so vulnerable because you have no mechanism built up to actually defend yourself, right? Because you've been insulated. You've been so protected. You're a little Fabergé egg. You've been protected.
What was I don't remember the movie now. I think it was Paul Fiorentino, if that's his name, and one of the Baldwins. And the analogy in the movie was that, the lion, they take the lion out and the pride devours the former alpha lion, and then a new king takes the place. They're going to sacrifice Bill and Hillary Clinton. They're going to sacrifice a few people, and they're just going to have to hope and wait that enough time passes that the public appetite for this is satiated, and they'll have a few sacrificial lambs. Bill Clinton is at the end of his life, as is Hillary Clinton, her political life. So they're easy ones to sacrifice at this point in time. And then
very rare that it's Hillary Clinton on the other side of the sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Well, as rumors would have it, but you get to be a certain, like, the system is now done protecting Hillary, and it's done protecting Bill, and the new generation of the power-toting youngins is coming up and like, okay, we're not taking the heat for these two criminals anymore. So they'll testify, they'll freak out. Can you imagine? She says, we were afraid that they would break the rules. And what? Okay, the video is going to come out anyhow. I appreciate that their concern is exactly what they've been doing to Trump for the last decade, which is selective leaking to make him look bad, and they're afraid that that's what's going to be done to them. They're confessing through their projection as to what they've been doing as a wrap-up smear mechanism. But I was shocked that a still of these depositions came out when it's going to be public anyhow. It's going to be amazing when this is released to the public. The aggregate knowledge of the 4chan internet are going to piece together these lies. And the first question I would love to know, and I'm going to dig into it: who was Ghislaine Maxwell? Who was she the +1 for? Love to know.
Right.
I mean, it seems like a logical question. I'm surprised nobody asked it, but we'll see if it was asked in the deposition.
I mean, Chelsea Clinton better hide. She better hide, because she's going to be asked the same question, right, for the rest of her life.
Yeah, they're going to live under the shroud or the cloud of their parents, but I mean, I don't know what level of implication they had in what their parents have been doing for decades. But the Haiti initiative is enough of it on its own.
So Hillary, I think that Hillary was the appetizer. Of course, obviously Bill was the one who had the very, very close relationship with Epstein. What would you like to see them explore? Today, what vectors of informational attack? What would be your information war?
I would like documentation of all of Clinton's flights on the Lolita Express or on the plane. He didn't go to the island. Let him prove it. There's conflicting reports as to whether or not he ever traveled without Secret Service detail. I'd like confirmation on that. The issue is you ask that question and there's no way to disprove his affirmation that he never did it, because you got to prove a negative that he did travel without Secret Service detail. But you presumably could do that if you can get all of the flight logs and then see if it was always attended with Secret Service. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know the context of his deep tissue massage photo with Virginia Giuffre. It's not everybody on earth that's a president that's getting a deep tissue massage by a victim, a bona fide victim of at least Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking. What the hell was that? I mean, where was it taken? What was going on? Why are you getting a massage? And then if his answers are, it was in Florida, I went to a massage therapist, they exist, so be it. But by their answers, the aggregate knowledge of the internet will be able to piece this together and call out the lies and demonstrably disprove the lies.
It was at a private airport. It was at a cleared out private airport. That's where
even weirder. That's where
it was. That's where that photo's from. And nobody has yet to figure out where that marble lined hot tub and pool was, where Clinton was inside of, with the victim, who I think is naked, and Clinton's wearing like maybe a pair of trousers, but who knows? And, there's been no explanation to this either. Like, what exactly are you doing?
Some people might argue that that's an unnecessary redaction, that maybe the person in there is not a victim, not a minor, and it's just a bad redaction, which brings us back to, some of the problems with the redactions, too many of them, not enough of them, whatever. Mm-hmm. That could be as innocuous as what they did to Trump when they redacted a bunch of women's faces at an event that turned out to be like some pageant in Hawaii. So we don't know who that is. This could be innocuous. I've never gotten a deep tissue massage by someone who's not my wife, and I've never hung
in
out
an airport, in a private airport. You never had
I've never hung out with a convicted pedophile, but maybe, I've been in a jacuzzi, so maybe there's an explanation for that. But he's obviously got more questions to answer than Hillary, and Hillary can always just, what do I remember? It's been 20 years. I have no idea. So she's got plausible deniability. Bill Clinton is going to have selective amnesia.
Do you perceive of there being any type of follow-up here? Like, that's, I think, the biggest concern of the audience. And this is the last question. Like, the biggest concern of the audience is to what end, right?
Well,
like, will there be perjury charges? And I guess we've seen it before with the Clintons, so never say never.
Perjury and whatever contempt of Congress, defiance of a subpoena, whatever. I mean, at this point, good, charge Bill Clinton. That's not what people want right now. What they want is the deep state apparatus that allowed this cover up to continue for 20 years to be dismantled, and those people to be prosecuted. Bill Clinton at this point is politically, legally irrelevant. dismantle the entire thing and reveal everybody who partook in this cover-up that is now going on 20 plus years.
I mean, I think that actually, frankly, I think that may be the bigger kahuna that could materialize. And you're seeing it. There's so much black pilling. And I got to tell you, I resist the temptation. But if you actually line it all up, there's been quite a few scalps through all of this.
Yeah, and scalps on technicalities or, guilt by association. There hasn't been any convictions or demonstrable participation in human sex trafficking. But this is how it starts. And I say they got Al Capone on tax stuff because it's easy to get people on tax stuff.
That's right.
But we're seeing the unraveling right now. And we're learning stuff. And whether or not we've seen hard evidence of sex crimes involving other people, Prince Andrew, whatever, former Prince Andrew, we haven't seen that. They've had 20 years to cover that up. But we're seeing under the hood of the entire infrastructure that was this Epstein influence operation of global and international proportions.
Yeah. You know what? So DHS has all the Secret Service logs. Be pretty easy to line them up. Okay. We know where your Secret Service was, and now we're asking you, Bill, where were you? That's a great line of question. I hope they got him. Everyone should follow Viva. He's just one of the all-timers, and he's somebody who I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro. If you were on suicide watch, I'm on suicide watch right now because I just talked to Hillary. But because of Canada losing in the medal, losing in hockey to the men and women. I know you're Canadian. I'm sorry about that.
I'm not
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry. I never say I'm sorry if I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
I feel the fear you fear sometimes when I go back to Canada because, Canada is now at a point where they're fining people $750,000 for so-called transphobic tweets. But no, I have not yet gotten the attention of Hillary Clinton. And I dare say I'm happy that way, Benny. It's hilarious. And I know the meme is the meme. But it's quite something when you have a deposition interrupted because of you. You, Benny, yourself did it. Be proud and, did I say what? Don't go swimming alone at night.
Yeah, that's right. Luckily, I live the most boring life you could possibly imagine. I have 4 little kids under the age of 5, and it's boring. It's incredibly boring. So we will keep it that way. And we'll see. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much,
Godspeed.
Viva. Godspeed. Everybody follow Viva right here. And got nearly 1 million subscribers here on X. See you, bro.
Thank you very much.
I will not be sleeping well tonight because I assume that, we're going to war with Iran. I'll explain to you exactly why in just a second. I will be sleeping on my Helix Sleep mattress. However, Helix Sleep is the absolute all-time best mattress that there is in America for you and your family. And my kids use a Helix Sleep mattress. The Helix Sleep quiz matches you directly with the kind of mattress that you need. It also gives you the award-winning quality, free shipping, seamless delivery, and Happy Helix guarantee. There you can rest assured with your 120-night sleep trial lifetime limited warranty. A study has proven that 82% of those involved in a deep sleep 120-night trial with Helix Sleep had better sleep and a more refreshing sleep cycle. So that's good, especially on nights like tonight where I will be monitoring the situation. Will you be monitoring the situation with me? Get the sleep that you need. HelixSleep.com/Benny, 27% off site-wide. HelixSleep.com/Benny, 27% off site-wide today. Okay. U.S. Embassy urges staff to evacuate Israel due to safety risks. Trump prepares for possible attack on Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Alex Jones ready to rock. So I want to jump on over. Klein, just share my screen real fast. Just want to show you guys, this is really happening. Okay, it's really happening. This is what the airport looks like at Ben Gurion in Tel Aviv. The entire commercial airport has become a military airport, a military apparatus. Dan Scavino, the voice of the president, is posting videos like B-2 bomber porn. That's what's happening right now. Okay? The Iron Dome has been set up around the Knesset. Look at this photo. This photo was taken seconds ago. Iron Dome around the Knesset. Get ready. This is what they're plotting. Mr. General Supreme for Israel is saying in the coming weeks will shape decades to come in the Middle East. Here's the embassy saying, you got to get the hell out. Trump, I don't know if I'm going to go to war, but my message to the American people is claw and scream and run your way to the fastest plane that you possibly can and get the F out of there. That's what the administration has said. not just for Israel, but for Americans in Jordan and in Egypt, for the Chinese citizens in Iran. The Chinese embassy has said, get out by all means necessary from Iran. The UK just said the same thing. Gerald Ford, biggest aircraft carrier in the world, just parked in Israel. And then just look at the map. Just look at the live map, will you? Here's the live map. Look at this. Look at the air bridge right now between America, Europe. These are C-17 Globemasters. Refueling, flying in. 62% of all deployable military assets are surrounding Iran right now. What does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? Ambassador Mike Huckabee said, today is the day to flee Israel. Please get out. That's what he said. Again, another live shot of Ben Gurion Airport. It looks like a staging area for Normandy, is what it looks like. So, I don't know what to say, guys. This is going to happen. Drive to the airport and literally just effing leave this second. And of course, all American assets have now been hidden in the Mideast. Meaning, if you're in, these are the bases in Qatar. This is right off the border of Iran, where they could like send missiles and bomb our stuff. It's all hidden. What does this tell you? It's telling you it's popping off time. Heavy GPS jamming happening in Tehran. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know it's coming. If you know something's about to hit, it's probably best to invite on a modern day prophet, and that is why we have Alex Jones on our show as much as we possibly can. Not only do we love Alex, we respect his insight on these kind of things. And Alex Jones joins us live right now. Alex, welcome back to the program. I wanted to talk with you about Epstein and Bill Clinton, but since this war with Iran seems to be popping off in just a moment, I'd love to get your take on it. What does it mean for where the country is headed? Clearly, the American First Movement doesn't want more quagmires and more forever wars.
Well, if you remember 2 weeks ago, Trump started evacuating people out of different embassies over the Middle East, and was looking like they were going to strike them. But now we know that was to get intelligence to see where the Iranians sent weapons. It was to pick up signals intelligence, probably. This time it looks like they are getting ready to hit because the negotiations have fallen through and Iran is refusing to give up what the West says is its nuclear program. But even people like the founder of Blackwater, who's really smart, Eric Prince, has said he's a fan of the mullahs, but regime changes is certain, and this could really cause some major problems. But regardless, I'm no fan of the mullahs myself, and so I would like to see them removed. That it is a dictatorship over their people. They're very unpopular. But China has shipped a lot of anti-ship missiles that our experts believe will be able to get through to the aircraft carriers. The question is, can the Iranians forward deploy them enough to get the Gerald R. Ford in the Mediterranean? But the other aircraft carrier is over by Iran and can be hit. And so if Iran does hit the aircraft carrier, we'll go to full war with Iran. And that could potentially lead to World War III because it has a defense deal with China, North Korea, and Russia. So that's really some of the major dangers here. But as you said, the massing of forces there is much bigger than what we saw last year during the little 7-8 day operations we saw between Iran and Israel. So this is a very, very dangerous moment in history. And from all of my sources, it's really up to Trump. Up until the last minute, he could decide to give the order or not give the order. If you remember, we were told 5 or 6 times that we were going to go into Venezuela and that tomorrow would be the day. And that kind of got them to where they were complacent. And then finally, when it did happen, we caught them with their pants down. And of course, U.S. military, regardless of what you thought of that, did an excellent, really almost perfect job. And so that's what we're looking at right here. This is a big deal.
I'm very sorry for the side quest question, Alex, but it's something that I've dreamed about asking you. What is a discombobulator?
I don't know the specific secret weapon system Trump's talking about. I know that they have a lot of exotic weapons. I could go through some of the theoretical stuff and what we know has been developed over the decades. The information I have on those weapon systems is old, so you can imagine they're much more advanced. But they have kind of a Glock system that's associated with manipulating the time-space field between dimensions. that, going back to the first experiments with it with the Germans and then the U.S., that everybody around it really gets sick, it's like the Havana syndrome on steroids. Then there are classic type high-powered sonic weapons that can also make people very, very nauseous. But when you hear the term discombobulate, that means almost like reality's not there. And so this is real sci-fi weaponry. But we're told hydrogen bomb is the most advanced thing. But those were around in the 50s, and theoretically in the 1890s. Max Planck created the theoretical equations for atomic bombs and then hydrogen bombs. And so the technologies are 30 to 50 years, depending on what group of them advanced. And obviously, it's very secretive. They had, in the early 70s, the B-2 bomber deployed. They didn't declassify it partially until the late 80s. And that, I'm told, is about 5 generations back from what the U.S. military actually has.
Many people have wondered whether the UFO files are kept secret because the UFO technology is simply military technology that's being tested on our people or domestically, and that the federal government has the ability to manipulate time and space. And I say that, Alex, because they straight up, and that's not what this interview is about, but I hope you don't mind this little side quest here. That, they said that in this astonishing document. Alex, could you grab it? The principal who's in charge of science and technology for the administration, Dr. Alex Krasios is his name. Sounds like straight out Central Casting. He says, no, we have the ability to manipulate time and space with our military tech. What does that mean, Alex? I mean, you just talked about the discombobulator changing reality. We heard from the Venezuelan security guards that they were incapable of even standing when hit with this thing, vomiting blood out of their mouths, blood out of their ears and nose. What I mean, did we use some space age shit on these guys?
Well, there are all sorts of systems. I mean, there are particle beams that you can just hit a building with and it just basically disintegrates. There are, and these are just things we know theoretically that they did develop, and then the rest is classified. So it just goes on and on. And then there's so many civilian uses for these things. I mean, we've had free energy for at least 30 years. It's seen as a disruptive technology, so it's been suppressed. And with Trump, you see the beginning of the rolling out of this, which is great to secure American dominance, but also great for the economy. With all this debt and the rest of it, new innovations being rolled out like this aren't going to be disruptive. It's what's going to save us if it can be deployed in a peaceful way. I mean, imagine what free energy will do. But you see Trump killing the carbon taxes, the Paris Accord that Lord Monckton's analysis, and I've seen other analyses that are similar, would kill about 2 billion people over a decade if they cut basically half the energy in the food. And that was the plan of the Great Reset. So Trump killing that alone, the globalists weren't just going to give us the free energy. They weren't just going to block that. They were going to take away the old system as well. And so Trump is keeping the old system in place as a bridge to the new. Elon Musk has talked about that. And so this is a great thing President Trump's done. In fact, that's why I'm not black-pilled. I mean, I wish they'd do more on Epstein. I wish they'd do more on arrest, more on indictments of the bad guys. But at the end of the day, the globalists are being made irrelevant. We just had the head CEO of the World Economic Forum in the email saying, yes, we're setting up an alternate world government through the Trilateral Commission that Epstein was on, and we're going to transfer the UN power over to us. That was in 2017-18. And then 3 years ago, the UN made the World Economic Forum co-equal for global governance. So I mean, that whole system is being exposed. It's being discredited. The crown jewel of it, the carbon tax and the social credit score that would implement that and track everything we do, that is gone basically. The UN's plan to, quote, cut half the food production. Remember a couple of years ago, John Kerry, we got to get rid of half the farms or people will starve. True oxymoronic stuff here. This is feudalism. This is serfdom. And so all of that, the old system is being shut down. The predatory Great Reset, collapsed civilization, post-industrial world, and Trump's making real moves to bring us into the George Jetson world that's right under our noses.
It's true. My wife's grandmother is visiting us. She's 95 years old, and I have a Tesla, and I love it. And it's a self-driving Tesla. And she sat in it and she's like, "This is the Jetsons." That's what she said. She's never been in one of these things, and we like self-drove, and we went down the street, got ice cream, And the car drives itself. And she's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm living to see this. It's the Jetsons. That's what she said.
And all of those technologies aren't evil in and of themselves. It's how they're deployed.
Yeah.
And Musk is saying, have more children and have all this empower us and use these, autonomous systems to go out and build our space bases and build our colonies so that humans can then go inhabit them and, use AI, assembling whole fleets and systems out of the asteroid belt to then go terraform Mars quicker. This is really exponential. If it's deployed for humans, it's unlimited. But if it's deployed from a globalist depopulation bent that the future is not human, that the WEF says, then it is meant to replace us, and it is the Antichrist. So it's a tool, and it really depends on what spirit is in the machine: one of God and the Holy Spirit, and pro-human systems, or one of replacing humans.
So I didn't even know what a WEF was when I was in college until I started listening to InfoWars and Alex Jones. And now, and it seemed like so David and Goliath. It was almost more David and Goliath. You in a small podcast studio versus every government on earth in the World Economic Forum. Well, now they're on their back heel. Now they're just straight up admitting that globalism is lost. And now their leadership is resigning. The CEO of the World Economic Forum, Borge Brendy, has stepped down after ties to Jeffrey Epstein. You told me in our last interview 2.5 weeks ago, Alex, that this is the key to completely collapse the global world order, the Epstein files. And if used properly by President Trump, it could actually end globalism as we know it, because now it's all being exposed. Do you believe that's happening here?
Yes, and again, the Justice Department convinced him that, it's a bunch of disinfo, it's all old, it's lies about you, recycled stuff. And then now you hear Trump going, wow, I'm vindicated in all this.
Yes.
Yeah, because here's the deal. I know what's in the files because I've already studied, and so much has already come out in other places, and they've bragged about it, that the Trilateral Commission was set up by David Rockefeller. His family put all their money and the Rothschild money into setting up the UN, all of it. He was the head of the Trilateral Commission. He chaired the other global meetings. We now learned in 1990, when Epstein was 30, basically Bill Barr brought him over to be introduced to him, and he was high-level CIA, and he became the main aide to David Rockefeller. And when Rockefeller couldn't go to a Trilateral Commission meeting, he put him on the board, and Epstein represented him. That's why Epstein was so powerful. So these emails going back 9 years ago, talking to the CEO at the time and now stepped down of the WEF, World Economic Forum, they say, we're the private corporate government. That's always been the plan. The UN's going to start transferring its power to us. This will be the new Trilateral Commission. It's got the Rothschilds, and it's got the Rockefellers' full backing. And so this is how we'll coordinate government, corporations, the media, and all the systems through corporate governance, which we now know is the BlackRock ESG corporate governance system for the implementation of the social credit score and the AI that tracks us all. And then now, who is the chairman of the World Economic Forum, replacing Klaus Schwab, but Larry Fink of BlackRock, with 80-something% control of world assets. Then, so he's still there, but then the actual CEO of it has stepped down. This is it. This is the corporate global government. Fink has said, we're setting this up, corporate governments, to control your behavior. Well, now that they're identified, now we know they're totalitarian, which I knew forever. It seems simple. Decades ago, if we just exposed this when they finally launched this totalitarian plan that's unelected and you'll own nothing and have nothing and be happy, and all the rest of this, that I believe humanity would say no, and also believed other elites that just came up through this but built their own empires through hard work, but we're under the gun of the globalists, would also want to break out of this and have a Renaissance team humanity, not suppress civilization, not have a breakaway civilization that was secretive, but really fully deploy this to the public and move forward. That's really the way to do it, not try to make everybody dumb down, depopulate most people, control them, and have a breakaway civilization that has all this high tech, but have a team humanity model. I just believe that, studying history, that figures like that would arise, and predicted it in my film Endgame, made in 2007, that an Elon Musk type figure would step forward, just out of pragmatic understanding that even if you were an evil globalist, which I don't think he is, they stole his son and sterilized him, the cult did.
Yes.
That their plan of cutting off resources and oppressing people and building this dystopia wouldn't even work. because people would resist it. Now we've proven we would resist. Now we've proven their system's falling apart. But now we have to talk about what we're going to replace it with in this power vacuum. The communist Chinese totalitarian model that's just a copy of the globalist model. They were with the globalists until about 16 years ago. They broke away. That's when the globalist system really started falling apart, just from that angle, not just populist resistance. And so now you have kind of the breakaway Chi-Com system that's now allied with the EU dregs of the old British Empire, still trying to reconstitute their globalist system. But now you have, Andrew arrested, and you've got the other globalists being arrested. It just shows that America is now dominant in establishing the new global order. I don't mean it's in their new world order, but a new global order, and it should be based on mutual respect, freedom, innovation, team humanity, Christianity, not forcing Christianity, but saying we are Christian, we are the West, and we are the best, and then containing Islam, and then through sheer excellence and our information being out there everywhere, having a mass awakening of the Muslims to then become Christian or at least leave Islam, and with the others that don't leave, have a reformation within Islam instead of the last 100 years where the classical totalitarian Orthodox Muslims have been able to, really take over Islam.
Boy, there's so much there to unpack, and I have about 1,500 follow-up questions, but I don't have 1,500 hours to ask. So let's see very quickly here. You talk about the destruction of the old world. You sounded like a Marco Rubio speechwriter. His speech in Munich was the best speech I think I've ever heard from an American diplomat in history. And it was establishing Christendom, establishing our roots, our national origin, and what the country stands for. And Marco Rubio saying on the tarmac before the speech, the old world is dead. The old order is dead. Now it's to us to reconstitute a new world. That old order was sort of like held together very fragilely by the Clintons, who were trying with their Clinton Global Initiative and with so many other evil plots and schemes in order to sort of consolidate as much control as they could. They were using Epstein to do this. Both the Clintons are under the gun today. Bill Clinton is now in the testimony. He's currently ongoing in testimony. I'm getting this directly from the from staffers inside of the hearing. Yesterday, we pissed off Hillary. I am on suicide watch right now because we pissed off Hillary a lot yesterday by leaking photos of her in this testimony. I have a food taster and everything, Alex. It's great. Keeping everyone locked inside today. But the point is that, if the Clintons are being thrown to lions, which is happening, the young are eating the old here, that really does seem to signal that this old world is dead. What would you like to see done with the Clintons? I guess maybe your take on what should result from these testimonies with the Clintons.
Well, I mean, specifically the neoliberal Rockefeller Rothschild Trilateral Commission UN system is dead. It's corrupt, it's evil, it's anti-human, it's being rejected. And so that's why the Clintons, who set up their foundation with Ghislaine Maxwell, who they don't know, she set the weddings and they're all together constantly, look, the Clintons need to be prosecuted for their crimes. I don't know if that's going to happen, but instead they are being publicly destroyed for the total, complete lying frauds they are. And their network of control of the government that really had sleeper cells and stay-behind networks with Obama during the first Trump administration is being dismantled, like getting a face sucker off somebody's face in Alien. And so really that is the great success we have so far. And then if we just keep the Trump administration honest, I don't mean Trump, but some of the people in there that are just, they're kind of showboating and think they're in Hollywood or something. And this is an existential threat to humanity and a war for the future. And that God brought us to this point and let Donald Trump survive and all of this so we could save America, save the West, and save the world. As Elon Musk has said, America's a central pillar of the West. In all the actuaries and studies and war games, if America falls, the West falls, the world falls, and we go into a very serious dark age. And so it's renaissance, it's expansion, it's rediscovering our Christian roots, it's having families, it's expansion or death. Nothing in the universe stays the same. It either goes into entropy and collapses and dies, or it grows. So we blossom or we die. And the globalists have decided, Great Reset, post-industrial world, Rio de Janeiro, 1992, to build a post-industrial world by 2020, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and that there wouldn't be a human future, and the future's not human, and looking forward to the end of humans, Wall Street Journal headline. I mean, this is a serious, sick death cult. And so when Rubio says we're rejecting that, we have to, because still the colleges all over Europe and the US and Australia and everywhere, Canada, are teaching all whites are evil, Christians are bad, the family is bad, we have to get rid of the West, communism's good. So you still got, kind of like they found Japanese 29 years later after World War II still shooting at fishing boats because they, their radio was broken and they thought the war was still going. And so you've got all these brainwashed leftists and others that thought they were going to build a utopia and bought into the globalist plan. They didn't know that they were basically just political, cultural dynamite to blow up civilization for the deindustrialization, depopulation. They're out there still like Japanese soldiers 29 years later. I mean, they're going to be going forever, fighting on. And no matter how much things get better, no matter how much their life improves, they're just going to continue with Stockholm Syndrome to double down on the program they've been given. So I think we have to really lovingly reach out to a lot of them with the information. We can't save them all, but understand that we're not out of the woods yet. The dangerous systems set up and the programs meant to sabotage and collapse society. I mean, it came out, declassified CIA documents, 52, to put fluoride in the water to dumb us down, poisons in the shots to make us stupid and make us infertile. We already knew all this. It's in Henry Kissinger's Memorandum 200 from 1973. So this has been the policy since even before World War II with certain elements in Western governments. Hitler was just a competing eugenics model to the British eugenicists. And so that was the defense at Nuremberg with the Nazis was, hey, we got all this from Margaret Sanger. We got all this from Planned Parenthood, which was true. We got all this from Thomas Watson, the founder of IBM, who set up Bill Gates' real foundation that Gates' mom ran after Watson died. And then Gates was given that foundation, renamed it as the World Population Control Foundation. That's the real name of their foundation. And so you have to understand that the brain of the Nazis, they gave him the top award in Germany during World War II. He traveled there to Thomas Watson. He was the brain of all of that eugenics. He invented computers just to track race mixing and the first Hollerith machines. And then when he died, he transferred it all to Planned Parenthood, who's Bill Gates' dad ran, and then to the mother who ran the foundation. And so Bill Gates is literally the ghost in the machine of the IBM head that created Hitler.
Again, too much to unpack. And I know that we're up against a pretty hard out. So like a pretty stern hard out. So real quick, what would you, if you were across the table from Bill Clinton today, what would you ask him about Epstein?
I mean, I would say, look, I have all the documents. I have them right on my desk. That you just don't need to set up your foundation, that you constantly traveled with them, that they were heavily involved in all your businesses. What do you mean when you said on TV 3 days ago, we have no connections, that's a quote, to the Epsteins? And I would just say you need to know your networks are broken, you need to know you're defeated, and you need to know that we've got the goods on you and that you ought to turn state's evidence against the globalists before it's too late. But looking at Bill, he looks like he's about to die. Like he's a leaf, the last leaf in fall about to blow away. Hillary looks like a reanimated corpse. And so you're not going to get any real answers out of him. So I wouldn't even really ask him any questions. We actually already know all this. I mean, they were complaining reportedly that, we're being spied on by Republicans. And it's come out they were spying in Arctic Frost on myself, the Senate, the House. Biden's FBI secretly obtained Kash Patel and Susie Wiles' phone records during the campaign. Literally, Nixon got in trouble for some plumbers trying to get a file from a psychiatrist and breaking in. That was wrong. But here they are surveilling everyone. I get all the notices of subpoenas and stuff years after it happens. I've been under all these FBI investigations, national security investigations by Obama, then by Biden. I've had the feds run the lawsuits against me and all the PR firms fund the lawsuits. That's been declassified. I mean, they have been terrorizing the American people. The DOJ sued my parents and all this crap, okay, saying there's hidden money there, and of course there wasn't. So they've had a reign of terror, and then they turn it around and say that Trump is persecuting them. No, in fact, it's nothing's really happening to him other than this deposition, and so and they're being excoriated publicly. So it's the opposite. And in fact, Trump has a duty to go after these people. The problem is some of the folks at the DOJ are not even corrupt; they're scared that when Trump's gone, the deep state will come after him because they've said they will. Well, guess what? It's a new ballgame. The deep state is already so dismantled. The old order is so screwed up And you have, like I said, they have a lot of their minions still operating like Japanese soldiers, years later. But it's over. There's no way you put all this back together again. It's not like I'm just saying that now. I've been saying for decades this moment would come. I've been saying precisely for years, basically what you see in Vance's and Rubio's and Trump's speeches. And that's because I know I've influenced the speechwriters. And I've delivered to Trump 6 months into him being into office from a law firm I had develop it, who's, let's just say, somebody on the cabinet, Operation 1776, America 2.0. And I laid all this out to the president, and I did it on air too, on how the old order was going to fall apart, was going to fail, and how China had already double-crossed, and then there wasn't a real Asia pivot, and that the EU was collapsing demographically, and that only America could dominate and then save the world in this process. So release all the technologies, innovate, fully discredit the left, cut off all their NGO funding, cut off the Soros operations. And it was already most of what Trump was doing. But I was saying you can't just do these things. You have to then have a plan, then through soft power, get the whole world through economic deals, undercut the World Trade Organization, do unilateral deals. And that's what's happened. So I did a whole master plan on that. And I just knew how history worked and what the pieces were, that this was a victory that we had to just refuse. It's a guaranteed victory if we take it in our hands, because all the pieces are there. A private global government with a bunch of satanic pedophiles, with the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Larry Fink dictating everything, and parents having their kids taken when they're 7 because the school wants to chop their penis off. Now we're learning they were transitioning 3-year-olds. I mean, this is sick. What they're pushing is just so over the top. All we've got to do is resist it. Those of us that are the tip of the spear will get put in prison or debanked or sued, but that's worth it. That's what freedom's all about. And we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors that paid everything for us to have these basic freedoms. It's time for us now to engage in the animating contest of liberty for our children, for our future, and for the species. And you're actually not giving something up when you do this. We're designed to do this. We're designed to promote freedom and fight tyrants. That's in our DNA. And that's why the globalists want to get rid of the West and get rid of America. And they write about it in all these white papers, because that spirit of rebellion, that spirit of Renaissance, that spirit of Magna Carta, and they know, like the phoenix, it can rise from the ashes, and it has risen from the ashes. And in the space of time, a lot of people want instant gratification. But if you look at how fast things are moving right now towards liberty, it is light speed compared to a sloth crawling on the ground 30 years ago. So I mean, maybe 1% of people knew about this when I first got here 32 years ago, and the internet was expanding. I came along at the right time. I got a big show right away, so I got to interview all the experts that were still alive that knew all about this. The former chairman of the Joint Chief, and the former head of Air Force Development, and the former head of the FBI in LA, and all the CIA guys, and Fletcher Prouty, and Anthony Sutton, and G. Edward Griffin, all of them. So I got decades of masterclass. They're almost all dead now, from all the real OGs, and the John Birch Society, totally dead on. And so I have just been in this, understanding this, studying this from the globalist own admissions, from the opposition's research, and then I've watched it play out. And I've got a full model, multidisciplinary analysis on how we can crush the enemy. And we are.
And you gave it to Trump. He's doing it. It's amazing. It's inspiring, Alex, and it's obviously why, especially in moments like these of extreme consequence, or when things could cut one way or another on the knife, we have to have you on. We have to have you on. And
well, listen, I would love to come on and do a deep dive on all this, and I know you're going to be coming on my show today. Yes, at noon Central.
We need to do that. I want to go in person. I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to be close to Austin. I know that's where you're based. Yes. I'm going to be in Texas at the end of the month. So let's do that. I would love to do a full sit down.
Well, you need to come here, because I know they've almost shut us down like 5 times, and it becomes like Groundhog Day or Chicken Little or Boycott Wolf, but it's all been real, been in the news, fake auctions, cutting the power. We're back into the receiver says, but it always takes longer. They're planning to shut us down late March. So I would love to have you as one of our last guests in this storied facility.
Okay. Yes. I mean, the answer is yes. And I'll make sure that we get that organized right now. We'll be working on it. My producers will be in touch. Just finally, very quickly, because I know you have the show and I'm excited to join you today. Berkeley says you're right. I'm not sure. I can't believe that it's true. Berkeley says you're right. Atrazine does turn the frogs gay, and we proved that actually just a day ago, 24 hours ago. This is the Democrat counter-programming to Donald Trump's State of the Union, and you can see the entire stage filled with gay frogs, the whole stage. and they announced it, and I think this is a Democrat member of Congress saying Alex Jones was right. Like, here they are. And so I just don't, I can't believe that we're living in this timeline. It's the sacred timeline. The timeline has been reoriented. I don't know, Deadpool and Logan, and Wolverine, they won. And so now here it is. Democrats proving you right, live on stage at the State of the Union response.
It is really scary. But, even back when I was talking about that decades ago, we had all the studies. And so all the national shows just took me saying gay frog at the end and not me showing the studies out of California and South Africa and Japan. And it's doing it to fish. It's doing it to everybody. And it's bending the gender of mammals. Doesn't turn a boy into a girl, but it twists you that direction and does confuse people. And they go, we're not going to give a little boy that got gender bent testosterone to make it the way he's supposed to be. We're going to bend it all the way and break it off the other. And so this is the reality. It's not that I was proven right. It was always true, confirmed. They always just take a clip of me where I don't show the proof of it and then say, that's insane. That's a tactic. But in time, God used those lies for good. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. But speaking of trying to shut us down, we have the Alex Jones Network set up. We're not going to be able to shut that down. And when we do shut down, everybody can find us at Real Alex Jones on X and on Rumble, the Alex Jones show, and it'll be back on the stations and all the rest of it. So again, their attempts will fail in the end because the info war belongs to everybody. Doesn't even belong to me. They can try to get a URL or whatever. No, this is the age of the info war. You are all incredible info warriors, and I salute you all.
Alex, I will be seeing you soon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Godspeed. See you within the next hour and a half.
Yes, sir.
Godspeed. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
It's always such a blast. It's always such a blast to have Alex on. What do you want from me? It's like having it's like if my grandfather was able to harmoniously fuse with Grok and create T1000 that could just tell me the way of the world and what is actually happening behind the scenes and what will happen next. Alex Jones, very pro-life, preborn, very pro-life. 80,000, that's how many unborn babies were rescued this year. 80,000 lives saved, thanks to the faithful supporters of preborn every single day. Thousands of women hear the same devastating lie that abortion is their only option, and that there's no hope. But there is, of course, hope. There's always hope with a God in control, which he is forever and for all time. Everything can change in a moment with the Preborn Network Clinic. And when a woman sees her baby on the ultrasound, that moment could double their chance of choosing life because it's not just an image on a screen, it's a baby made in the image of God. So, Preborn celebrates 20 years of serving babies and young, expectant mothers, saving countless lives for years to come. An ultrasound machine shows the mother her child. Many clinics don't have one, or they can't afford one. Preborn's simple goal is urgent. Place an ultrasound machine in every clinic across America that needs one. If you have the means, would you consider a tax-deductible gift of $15 to save countless lives? Let's make this year the biggest baby-saving year in history. Call pound 250 and say the word baby. Pound 250, say baby. You can visit preborn.com/Benny, preborn.com/Benny. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolutely wild one. Alex, do we have anything from Bill Clinton? Do we have anything from Clinton yet? I love it. No? All right. Okay. I'm checking my texts to see if there is going to be anything, popping off, but I've gotten nothing. You're at the obviously the world headquarters for leaks from inside these testimonies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we do in the chat for a little bit? We'll chat with you about some of the interesting things that are happening in the world, and then we're joining Alex Jones' show in just a matter of minutes. So let's go in the chat. Goodness, Jerry the Cyborg has sent us $500, and he says, "Welcome to the 500 Club." And so I just want to say, like, thank you, dude. Like, wow, this is unbelievable. Thank you for supporting us. Our missions here, we have some big missions, and it's going to be an exciting couple of years. We have a powerful growth strategy that we are deploying right now in order to make sure that we are the #1 spot for your news and information in the years to come. But most importantly, for you to understand the world around you, to hear directly from your government officials. I don't claim to be the smartest person. I don't want to give like hour-long monologues. Now, sometimes it happens, but we want to bring you the administration. We want to bring you the officials. We had outreach from the White House this week to say we want to have more people on this program so that more people can understand what's going on. And so that is our mission to you. And that is what we will do, ladies and gentlemen. So we just want to say thank you. Stay strong, Benny. We are with you. Defend you against any threats. Thank you. Harmony Galpal, 19. Is this strike against Iran? And thank you. And like, God bless you. Like, I really deeply appreciate that. Profound. I don't like ever asking anyone for money. I virtually never do it without like a Christmas ornament attached to it, right? But if you could pray, that'd be nice, because we are fighting forces of evil around here. If you could pray, if you're a Christian, you believe in God, you believe in the power of Christ, I would really appreciate your prayers. Yeah, especially now, right now. Isn't this strike against Iran too close to having a nuke? I thought we destroyed their uranium facility. Senator Lindsey Graham and his lobbyists must be happy. Yeah. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. It's not great. I don't want us to be in a this is the fastest way to destroy the America First movement, destroy the nascent Trump administration. I mean, they've only been in office for 1 year. We just passed January 20. It's only been 1 year. That's it. To get into another like Iraq or Afghanistan war. I don't want it, man. I don't want it. So Cerebral Vagabond says, I am a combat veteran. God bless you. Thank you. Which service branch? Cerebral Vagabond. Trying to leave a bad situation. I need to relocate as quickly as possible. Got kicked off the land I am on. Please check out my GSG and CV. God bless you, and go Trump. I'm not sure if producers can sort of go ahead and check in. Perhaps you're asking for a job. We're always hiring. We always have positions open. We're always hiring. We're always looking for people that want to crush, and that want to win, and that want to work hard. So the answer is awesome, and we'll pray for you, and maybe it'll work out. I mean, if this is you asking for a job, producers, can you please DM? The account is Cerebral Vagabond. I wonder how the State of the Union address will affect the midterm elections, especially seeing that Democrats remain seated and asked about helping us. Yeah, because I'm already seeing it in attack ads. Thank you for the question. Epic War Gamer 01. Thank you. I'm already seeing this in attack ads. President Trump, stand if you love America. Stay seated if you don't love America. Obvious. It's beautiful. Just rubber ball it. Perfect. Liar, liar, pants on fire, says Gary's metal detecting. This would be probably in response to Hillary Clinton. Yes, that's a fact. And we've proven it. We'll see what happens next. Hopefully perjury. We don't know. YouTube no longer recommends live streams. That's not great. Is that a policy change, ALX? Has that been happening? We often track this stuff really closely. We've just been 2026 has been insane. We've been all over the place. And, sometimes you lose track of data. We do have a small, very dedicated team here. But have we been tracking our YouTube notifications? I want to make sure that stays locked in. America is back. Long live the Patriots, says Sparky951. Hell yeah, Sparky. That's exactly right. Listen, I'm not like, I don't want to be a doomer here. Trump black-bagged Maduro. I'm not sure I would have been like in favor. Would I have made that call? That's why I'm not president, obviously. That's a gutsy move, man. It's an awesome move. Trump black-bagged Maduro worked perfectly for him. Way to go, Trump. So awesome. Operation Midnight Hammer bombed Iran. I think everything went fine there. I mean, did he lose any support or coalition support? The answer is no. So I can totally see that there are signals for Trump to like move forward here with war with Iran. And what does that look like? I was told by the administration, I can't tell you who, because, well, it's classified. But I was told in a phone call with the administration this morning that there's going to be no boots on the ground. It's not going to be like that the mission here is not to be again another Iraq and Afghanistan. They pointed me actually back to the fact that Trump ran against the Bushes based on Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, Trump's surgical strikes that happen all the time that take out bad guys, those are good things. I think we could all argue that. Okay. So I guess we'll see. I don't want to be a panikin, right? I don't want to be a doomer, but it is, I don't know. It's a rough one out there. Like you just want, I mean, these are big questions, but it does look like we're going to war. God bless the United States. Long live freedom. Epic War Gamer 01. Thank you again. There isn't a photo of one of these people eating pizza, which is strange for individuals who love pizza so much, says Joshua Wade. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and I had limited time with Alex Jones. I did not get a chance to ask him about this, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to ask him, like Hillary Clinton. I'm going to ask him. I go on his show in like an hour, so I'm going to ask him the same thing. Like what? Like Hillary Clinton says, no, there was no such thing as Pizzagate. What's your answer to that, Alex? Right? Obviously, this is the House of Cards. The Clintons will start ratting out the others. Free for all after that. Yep, totally agree. Live Animal. Thank you very much for your super chat. God bless you. System needs to stop protecting the Rothschilds, says Avilos 27. Thank you, Avilos. I agree. And Alex Jones actually went deep into this, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and their connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Is that the thing that can't be touched, right? That's what Les Wexner says in his testimony. He's like, well, I mean, he was just a Rothschild guy. So I just had to let him do whatever he wanted because they're like so important. Les Wexner just straight up outed him, just threw him under the bus. Here we go. Grim Anako says, I'm 10 minutes behind, but anyhow, if she knew Max was there as a +1, Maxwell was there as a +1, why didn't she kick her out? Yeah, that's a great question. Why didn't she kick her out? It's a great question. Are we forgetting that Biden liked to smell shampoos and stuff? This goes deep. You're exactly right. Everyone just kind of like passes over the fact that Biden was like a predator in public. Like a lot of stuff with Epstein, it was relatively secret. They haven't released, I mean, who knows what they have? Who knows what the other 3 million documents are, the other terabytes of documents. But it's relatively new. I mean, like we saw all this stuff. It's relatively secret. We also saw this stuff in public with Joe Biden. Yeah. Here we go. From Nazakamuel 8716. Iran will hit first a missile to the United States. It seems to me that they have continental missiles ready. She said they aren't buying time anymore. God help us. In Jesus Christ's almighty name. That's right. God help us. That's exactly right. Just God help us. In Jesus Christ's almighty name. Both parties should have campaign funds bank. Each politician has an account to run their campaign, and the party controls money, eyeing corruption, because when the politicians lose, the party keeps the funds. You know what? Far Ranger, this is exactly what happened with Kamala Harris. It's exactly what happened with Kamala Harris. This was entirely a money laundering operation, straight to her friends. They used the campaign in order to launder money directly to principals like Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce. It was a money laundering operation, the whole thing. Couldn't agree with you more. And then don't even get me started. Don't even get me started with the, oh boy. Yikes. Now the team is sending in Bill Clinton memes. We'll need to load up some of these. I don't know. Don't even get me started with the foreign dollars that can be funneled in through dark money and PACs and Act Blue. And why they haven't shut down Act Blue yet, I don't know. Republicans like, have a death wish, man. Okay, here we go. Hillbilly Up. This one I love. Thank you for having Brandon Herrera on yesterday. I hope that you will have him back. Brandon Herrera, excuse me, not that I have, I would have loved to have booked him just anyway, but the chat kept asking for Brandon Herrera to be booked for Texas 23, and we did what the chat asked for. This is a program operated by you. It belongs to you. And so we say thank you. So we just say thank you for your support. And thank you for being part of this audience. Obviously, it's something that's something that we're going to. We've got some big plans. He's got some big plans. So look at this. All of these news stations refuse to label you by name over the Hillary photo, but it has the Benny Show logo right in the middle of it. That's right. That's why we put it there. We're not trying to be overly prickish, but this is why we put it there. To the point, like this is the New York Post today. Do you think that any of these people would have given any of our show or any of our audience or you credit at all for this? No. You pop that up, Klein. Thank you. Yeah, that's why we put the logo on. This is for you. This is for you. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have to run to do Alex Jones's show, and so we're running quickly today. We'd love to do more of this. Prayers for Minnesota, real quick. The smart ones of us, at least. Yes, prayers for Minnesota. It's Friday. Have a great weekend, Patriots. Yeah, this is Andrea Wallace. Benny, love you and your sweatshirt. I bought a couple. People buy Benny gear. This is awesome. We couldn't agree with you more. We're launching brand new gear in the store right now. It still has a Christmas motif on it, and we're working on that. There's a lot going on. Thank you for pissing off that witch. What did Mace say she was? Love the Benny Show. It's like knowing the future a little. That's right, especially when we have Alex Jones on. Look into the Red Shoe Club, Alex Jones, about it. That's right, maybe we'll talk with Alex Jones about it. Yes, love this comment. It is like knowing the future. That's what we want. I want to be able to know the future here. Public safety, working groups will volunteer with Turning Point USA. For you, security, Google me. Okay, happy to do it. I mean, again, live a very boring life, but did piss off a lot of powerful people yesterday. That's how it goes. Okay. Give the bank ID to President Trump. We will. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. I love this from Andrea Wallace 3570. We will have a wonderful weekend. We love the positivity, Andrea, and we have some memes for you. Okay. Shall we play some of these memes, or what are we doing here? We're gonna play. Alex has been sending Bill Clinton. He's been sending leaked videos of Bill Clinton testifying. So why don't we react to these real fast? We got to be off at noon. Real fast. Okay, let's go. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm getting into here. All right, ready?
I have an important announcement to make. As you can see, I'm fully committed to this new policy.
Mr. President, what is the meaning of this?
This is highly irregular.
Speaking of the red shoes, I didn't know this was coming. All right, let's see him. Load him up. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, we got Bill Clinton in a blue dress. Will Bill Clinton be in a blue dress? I don't know. Is this?
Now, for a more personal perspective,
oh no. Okay.
As you can see, progress comes in many forms.
Well, Mr. President, this is certainly a bold statement.
Indeed.
Okay. All right. We hope that's brought you. We hope these memes have brought you a little joy, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of love, and that's what we want on this program, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we win, and this is how we truly defeat evil, as Alex Jones was talking about. Verse of the day. Here we go. This is how we defeat evil. Oh, well, that's good. You have no power here, Hillary. Did you guys actually make that meme? Maybe we'll do it with the verse of the day. Whoever takes unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done it all, to stand. Ephesians 6:13. Isn't that the point? The point is to be able to just keep moving forward, to just keep standing. That's the point. That's it. Put on the full armor of God. The armor indicates that you will be attacked. The armor indicates that bad things will happen to you and people will come after you. That's what the armor is for. That's why they call it the armor of God and not the picnic of God, not the charcuterie board of God, not the flower dress of God or whatever. Like, put on the armor of God because you're going to be attacked. It's going to be brutal and it's going to be life-threatening. That armor will make you able to withstand the evil day, which we are living in right now, and then to be able to stand after all of it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, stand with us. March with us on the victory in this, the greatest country on earth. Pray for peace. It's your boy, Benny. See ya.
What are you guys doing?
We're all gonna die.
You know what they say about the crazy ones? Huh? What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. The voices.
The hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do. Hope you got insurance.
You have no power here, Hillary the Great Bitch.
A world where you don't have to fear the future. Maybe with your last breath, you can close your eyes and try to see it, but do not think me a monster, devoid of empathy and...
The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings, and their dying legacy, media deal meetings. Soon will the Benny Show come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for number one. Come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for number one. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest king.